Radio Hereford FC, the only station with full match commentaries of the Bulls. Every game, every week.
Well, hello and welcome again to We're Going Down the Pub with me, Frank Williams. The ground guide guru, Mr. Simon Wright, is with us to talk about Royston Town.
Absolutely.
And we have a special guest with us tonight, all the way from sunny Leominster, Mr. Keith Hall.
Oh, hello, welcome.
Round of applause,
Great to be here.
Yeah.
What a pub this is.
Which
This
is,
is a great pub, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah, well, we're only on our second and Keith is on his third.
Hang on a minute, I am not on my third.
Why not? Yes, it's quiet at the moment in here, but it will get busy later on.
once word gets around to our special guest,
Right.
There'll be a queue in a minute.
Yeah, bound to be.
Right, Royston Town.
Yes, well, I'm going to have to get this over with first, aren't I? So I'll get this line out because people are expecting it, or some people are expecting it. Royston is a local club for local people, and there's nothing there for us.
Now, where does
there
that
you
come
go.
from? You have to explain.
It's-
You have to explain
Yeah.
because I'm ignorant.
Okay, well, I've got a programme I watch myself, but it's from the League of Gentlemen, which is set in the fictitious town of Royston Vasey. And
Yep,
it's one of their classic lines around their local shop.
I see.
So there you go. So it's gone splat with you, hasn't it? But I'm sure
Absolutely. Keith, could
our
you
vast audience
Well,
will appreciate it.
I'm reminded of a barmaid in Leominster 10-15 years ago when fair enough, the price of beer was cheaper in the pub's closed now, it used to be Black Horse in Leominster. Anyway, the phrase was, because she was absolutely hopeless barmaid, and if she served you a pint of Black Horse bitter, she would give you the retort, it's cheap and nasty beer for cheap and nasty people. Now, can you believe that? Can you believe that?
No wonder it closed it.
Exactly.
Is that the one on the corner?
No,
No?
it's the old coaching inn in Leominster.
No, right.
On South Street. Anyway,
Okay, now
there
the
you go.
information we've got for you is put together mainly from secondary
Yeah.
sources because nobody within living memory from anywhere near our wonderful fair city
No.
has ever been there.
Nobody's willing to admit to living anywhere near Royston. I did have a bit of help from Royston's kit man, as you do, Tony, who checked some facts for me, but there's just nobody around in the Cambridge area. So if the reality doesn't match up to the details, that's basically the reason why. Now,
Right, well, where the hell is it?
where
to
the
start
hell
with,
is
mate?
Royston? Yeah, well, it's a local club. Well, we know that.
But it's local
And,
to them.
It's local to them.
It's a long
yeah,
way
it's
for
very local.
us.
It's on the border between Hertfordshire and Cambridge. It's nearish Luton, nearish Cambridge, and quite near to Stevenage. So
Okay,
those
with
fine
all
places.
three of those towns are miles apart from each other.
Exactly. Yes, it's the Royston Triangle, you might say. You know, it is rather a hike, but I'm not going to reveal the exact distance because half our audience will switch off straight away, so we can't do that, can we? Now, Frank always enjoys my comparisons with the Herefordshire town, so I'm just going to say Leominster again.
Not again.
again.
It's the biggest
What
of
is
the...
it? What is it for you guys against Leominster?
Well, nothing.
What's your problem?
It's the biggest of the town.
It's got
basically.
15,000 people in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ross has got 3. Yeah. Bromyard has got 10.
Yeah.
And Leominster's got something approaching 15,000.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a little bit bigger than Leominster, and it's got a better football team. They're actually
Only slightly.
slightly not much in it, I know, but Royston are living the dream. They're a bit sort of Kings Langley-like, if you like. That wonderful dream of reaching step 3 and having a goalkeeper who can constantly kick a ball out of play 80 yards over and over again. That particular wonderful dream. Well, they've got it right
Of course,
now.
we
They're in
have
step
met.
3.
We have met them before in that
Yes.
championship playoff
Exactly.
at the end of last season, which we won on penalties in the end, and they gave
Tough
us
game, that was.
Stubborn, weren't they?
Yeah.
Stubborn.
They were
Yeah,
stubborn.
yeah.
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 And I would think actually that we said at the time, didn't we? That's the type of thing we can expect next year. The teams are going to come to Hereford.
Yeah.
They're going to look for that point and maybe get one on the break.
Yeah.
But
And
we're
they-
going, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've been around a long time. They've been around since 1875. And right up to 2013, they've never played above step 5. They'd always been a very, very small club. That's 140 years of being a small club. But suddenly, they're in step 3. And just like Kings Langley, the ground hasn't caught up.
Right.
And if we're being truthful, Kings Langley's got a better ground from what we can see on the pictures.
Right.
It's a very modest ground. Now, they call themselves the Crows, or you might want
But
to call
you
them
would prefer to
the
call them
vases.
the
Vases,
okay.
I'll get that in before
Crazes.
somebody. The vases.
Vases.
Oh, the Royston vases,
Royston
of course.
vases, yeah.
What's
that's
the crazes?
The crazes, well.
Even worse.
I like the crazes, that works. That works for me. They play at the Garden Walk. They've been there since 1932.
That's just after 7:30. Right.
Yeah, 1930s, 1932. Oh, well done.
Not far
that
from
man.
Lambeth.
Yeah. Now, it's well named. There's no car parking, so everybody's walking, so hence the name, I think.
A garden walk.
Yeah,
Right,
the Garden Walk, yeah.
Yeah, I did look that up when I saw that. I said, there's got to be some car parking. You're absolutely right.
nothing
There
there,
is
is there?
no car parking.
No.
Yeah, we might get half a dozen cars in, so
For important people, but that will
Yeah.
be about it, you know.
presumably disables will be able to be dropped off.
They've got to. They've
got
got blue badges. Or
It
something
might be a good
similar.
idea to ring and find out.
I
That's what
think
we
so.
normally
I
say.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
They not exactly have I don't have too many creature comforts.
Yeah.
Had we gone there last year in that championship game, they'd had 150 seats. Now they've got 250.
Now,
They've splashed the cash.
yeah, well, where are they going to put those extra 100
Well,
seats? 'Cause
good
there's no
question.
cover, no
No.
extra cover.
Well, either side of their seats, they had some what they call benches, which look more like planks to me. I suspect what they've done, they've taken the planks out and put some proper seats in. And
We are talking about pieces of wood, not people, presumably. Yeah.
I believe I am, mate, but
I'm glad.
who knows? Who knows what
Well,
happens
as long
in
as there's
Western
something for
Basin,
Rob
you know?
Wood to put his foot through,
Oh, yeah.
I'll be all right.
Well, you can't take him anywhere, can you?
No.
Going back to Creature Comforts,
Yeah.
wasn't that a TV series?
Yes.
Yes.
Wasn't it Aardman
Like
Animations?
Wallace and
Yeah, it was
Gromit.
from Aardman on the Creature Comforts.
So perhaps it's based out of Royston.
What a lovely thought. Good heavens, yeah.
that's cool.
told you, isn't it?
Well, I don't know what to say now. Completely stumped now, but there you go.
Aardman Animation. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Other animation companies are available.
Available. Oh dear.
Right.
Very handily for Royston
Disney.
as well. Or Disney.
Yeah.
They-
Pixar, my favourite.
Can't beat it, can you? Cars 1 and 2.
Right.
I
Okay.
think there was a script here at some
So
point. It
they,
seems to have
they
gone.
they've replaced some very rickety
Yes,
benches
by
with
happy
proper seats.
proper seats.
And a
And-
new turnstile.
I don't know. Oh, bloody hell, that must have cost
Two
me.
garden sheds.
Yeah, 2 garden sheds. Happily, they had a goalkeeper move to Cambridge last season.
Yeah.
And that goalkeeper had a sell-on clause and he's recently gone from Cambridge to the Dingles of Wolverhampton. So they've got a sell-on clause and that's how they've been able to fund those seats apparently. So there you go. Poor guy. I've been sacrificed to the Dingles to put some seats in, but there you go.
Why does he go down a step then from Cambridge to the Dingles? You know?
Have you been there? Have you seen the welcome they reserve for visitors? It's not
Why
nice.
do they use garden sheds as turnstiles in this particular part of the world?
Well, we noticed it, you see, at Hartley
Old
Whitney.
Church did as well,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Hartley Whitney were the ones that we first noticed.
Yes.
And because last season Hartley Whitney put out a plea on Twitter that we
they
picked
did,
up,
they did,
and
yeah.
we didn't broadcast it, Keith, but you don't listen to our podcast, so it doesn't matter. That they actually put a tweet out to know if anybody could find them some railway sleepers. to put their new turnstile on. And they were looking for people to actually donate railway sleepers so they could build their new. And any carpenters who could come along and help them with their new turnstile.
Exactly. Stick them under your arm and off you go to the ground.
Nobody noticed. Under your coat.
And they had to do that in order to get the ground grading.
Really?
That they had to have more than one turnstile. So we always say now, just buy another garden shed. Knock the two side panels out, put a bloke in the middle, take the money, and that's it.
And has Royston have got a bigger garden shed? Hence.
They're a step 3 garden shed now.
They've got to have two. They must have two turnstiles.
Our garden shed is bigger than this.
I was.
The grandstand is rather old.
Oh, it is.
You'll appreciate this, Keith, from a commentary point of view.
Yeah.
It's got 10
pillars.
Oh, lovely.
So it's a proper old stand.
Well, you know what Greg is like when we're commentating.
Oh, he'll be talking about the posts between his eyes.
No, he'll say, I can't sit there. I have to move one seat along so I get a better vision of that
10
guy.
pillars, that's going to be a long job, isn't it?
It is, really.
Well, let me finish off
Actually,
with the lights.
I've got a very long extension lead on his microphone now. He can go and stand out in the rain.
Oh, behind the goal. Yeah. Oh, like that.
People have heard enough about the length of your extension. We've had this comment.
Going down. Oh, we haven't, have we?
Sorry.
Goodness me, yeah.
Keith will edit his own comment out there.
Yeah, oh goodness me.
Flesh
I
pots.
was trying. My word, is that legitimate now? Flesh pots.
Now, apart from the stand,
Okay.
there's
not
more
a lot
cover.
to get excited about. There's a tiny legal minimum cover terrace, which is
That's
50 places.
a bus shelter.
Bus shelter,
Again.
yeah. And the clubhouse has an extended roof over the front, so that's an additional bit of cover if it rains. But that's about it.
The catering is a burger van.
Yeah, toilets in the clubhouse. But the admission, that's gone up £2 on last year, not that we went anyway. It's now £10, £6 for matures and £2 for kids, which is fairly standard, I guess.
Right, and what's the attendance?
878 is their record attendance.
Yeah.
Their average last season was 200. And, you know, with the season they had, and they get 200, it's never going to get any bigger, is it? Let's be honest about it, unless they get lots of visitors in town. It's a tough one, you know.
What is the capacity?
Well, I think it's 2 wet fingers in the air. I've seen 4,000 mentioned, 5,000 on Wikipedia, which is...
That's about as
Who comes
likely.
up with these ridiculous
I had no idea, and people believe them, unfortunately.
saying Anchor Street, oh, yeah, 20,000 in there.
We did once.
We did.
Yeah.
Well, very near.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
long time
Well,
ago.
what was it? 14,000 and something against Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it?
18,114 francs.
Oh my God.
As opposed to West Ham, 17,423.
That's alarmingly precise.
When you get as sad as I am in terms of
What
attendance,
was the Newcastle gate?
15,000 exactly.
Officially.
Yeah, officially.
And the bloke
because-
up a tree. Yeah.
Because somebody said Gwen to Frank Miles.
Yeah.
Famous quote. Went to
quotes,
Frank
yeah.
Miles. We run out of tickets, Frank. Oh, it doesn't matter. Go and print some more. So anyway,
Bennett.
who knows how many watched
okay.
that movie?
Yeah, but
So,
officially
yeah.
15.
And half the population of Britain, I think, was
Yeah.
probably ended up
It
seeing
seemed
that.
like it. And they're all wearing parkas
Oh, they
as well,
were.
but there you go.
Well, I like your comment here, which I will repeat for you there.
Go for it.
You say the capacity of 5,000, which sounds about as likely as a Hereford fullback being top scorer in our pre-season friendlies.
Exactly. Completely impossible, isn't it?
Impossible.
Completely.
Well, therefore, their ground capacity must be true, yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, now,
Doctor Who will be along in a minute.
Yeah.
why not? It'd be good.
She will.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Oh, I do hope so. Yeah, no, it's one of those old-fashioned grounds that just hemmed in on all sides. Houses and a school on all 4 sides. There's nothing they can do with it. They want to move. They've been wanting to move for 10 years, finding somewhere feasible with gates of 200 at best. It's a big ask, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they've accepted if it's going to happen, they're going to have to move outside the town. Now, I mean, I'll give you Luton, who've been trying to move since 1957. They were not far away, and they still haven't moved. So I think you really don't think Royston's going to be able to moving anytime soon.
Yes, we much prefer Luton to move than Royston.
Oh dear, that's
Luton could move to somewhere just outside of Brussels. Would be quite nice, wouldn't it, really?
Goodness me, horrible place.
It's your favourite away end, isn't it, Luton?
Goodness me. When you clamber up over the neighbours' gardens,
To get into the away end. At
yeah, and when you've got your knees around your shoulder blades, because that's all the space that they've given you, the seats behind the goal. Horrible.
Well, but
there
it
you
would
go.
be nice to visit there again soon in a league match. That would be really good.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Where was we? We were talking about
No car parking.
No car parking.
Right.
There really isn't. Officially, they suggest everybody uses the town hall car park, which is 3 minutes away. But unofficially, there is street parking around the ground, and it seems a lot of supporters say, "Sod it, I'm not parking there. I'm going to park right by the ground." There you go.
Right.
Refreshments, yeah, there will be some. There is a clubhouse, built in 1974, refurbed 5 years ago. It does look quite smart from the pictures I've seen. Very large TV. No information what they serve, unfortunately. I think my chances are that it'll be keg.
Yeah.
Ice cream there?
Well, that we never know.
No.
We can never tell with ice cream.
It should be on your round guru
Wish list.
questionnaire.
It should be. I should be tasking my volunteers in future to find out these things. It should. So, if clubhouse doesn't suit, I think that means a bit of legwork into the town
so
centre.
as this match is not very far away,
September
not very
9th.
long away, it's September 8th, here then is a guide to your pubs.
Indeed.
By the way, you can find most of this information on the pubs in the latest issue of Talking Ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Buy one while you can. Well,
Absolutely, they were going like hot cakes.
Yeah.
Well, you were throwing them away.
Don't tell Keith that, he's listening. But, yeah, and free staples, of course. Well, there you go.
Well, no.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a programme for £2.50, but you have to pay £3 for a Talking Ball, so therefore
programme's
the
£3 as well,
staples must be 50p.
But there you go.
3 staples.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Program
never
is
mind.
£3.
It is.
Not to worry.
Not to worry.
£3.
Indeed. Let me recommend to you, based on never gone there, but I'll recommend it anyway. The Jolly Posty in Baldock Street. Okay, it's a McMullen's pub, so it sells McMullen ales, surprisingly enough. Range of their real ales, and they do stone baked pizzas.
Stone baked pizzas.
Yeah,
Sounds like I'm in Greece. Fantastic.
all the best people do stone baked pizzas, don't they? TripAdvisor has them as the 4th best place to eat in the town out of 48.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
It's first, second, and third.
Oh, and they're out of town, mate. They're out of town. You wouldn't want to know. The Green Man in Market Square, they get very excited over their Young's Bitter, according to the internet, and they do local guests, and they, as in terms of beer, I hasten to add, and they do good food. Again, great recommendations. Okay, there is the Wetherspoons. We've got to mention the Wetherspoons, otherwise people get upset. The Manor House in Melbourne Street. Again, they're all about 10 minutes walk from the ground, not a huge distance. Now, some disappointing news for the Sticky Bun contingent, and that is Bun, B-U-N, Sticky Bun contingent. All the best places are on the edge of town, and they really are a bit of a hike.
Right.
So I'm not going to.
So no good local cake.
No, it's just too far to walk. I can't see people doing it, to be honest. There you go.
Right, now this is the reason why you might have turned off if we'd have said this
Yes,
earlier.
yeah.
How far is it?
Getting there, yeah. The bad news from the Shire, I make it 160 miles.
See, I'm not convinced with
You're
that.
not convinced?
I'm not convinced
No.
with that. I think you're overestimating the mileage, to be honest.
Okay, well,
It depends which way you go. But you've probably gone via Tiverton or something, knowing your sat
But
nav.
when you're driving 160 miles, you're
It'd take 10 minutes.
doing that
yeah.
an hour.
yeah, but
You'll be driving a Hereford and Worcester car though, and you'll have to go to Worcester
I'll
to
have
pick
to
it
be
up.
extremely careful.
that poor car. Who knew a little Ford could go that fast?
But anyway, it's one of the longest.
Yeah, it is. Possibly the second longest after Kings Lynn. It's a very long one anyway.
No,
What
it's
about-
not. Bishop's Stortford.
Is that longer?
I do wish you'd look your mileage up, Simon. This podcast is becoming totally inaccurate. You'll sort it out.
These
You'll have to
backseat-
give you a
these
mileage
backseat
charge,
drivers.
I think.
Well, it's very easy. Go. I'll tell you what. We'll settle this argument. Get on AA route master. Put in Hereford City. Put in Royston Football Club's postcode,
Yeah.
and it'll tell you the quickest way and the mileage. And it's about 160. No, okay. Now train.
That's even more of a nightmare. That's 5 hours travel from the Shire. That's 5 hours one way, I hasten to add. I mean, it's fine if you're a southeast ball. It's quite easy to get to, but from the Shire, really. It's
But the
10 hours
Leicester
travel.
station is near the
A
ground.
good point, yes.
So it takes you 5 hours to get there, but it's only a couple of minutes to walk into the ground.
and you can get a beer as well. So Reg might be a very good option.
Yeah, well, he hasn't put anything up on away days yet. He always gets one away match out the way.
Yeah,
before the day.
yeah.
My guess, it's going to be 20
It's going to be
quid,
20
isn't it?
quid, yeah.
Yeah, and my guess also that it's going to be a Ledbury Malvern route rather than a Ross. Well, it won't be Ross Monmouth route. He might go Ross Gloucester. He's going to go Worcester, isn't he? I would have thought. Anyway, have a look at Reggie's Facebook page.
Yeah, you've got some time.
Away days, and you've got time to work that out. But it's a long drive. It's impossible or horrendous by train. If you're a London bull, it's probably
You're
quite
laughing,
straightforward. It'll be from Euston northwards, I would imagine. Most of those are. And it's not going to be much more than about 40 minutes, I would have thought.
You lucky people.
Yeah, indeed. We're the unlucky ones this season, although here we are in the wagon and horses in Helzone, and it's probably, for us, going to be 140. So pick me up about 8 in the morning.
Yeah,
It'll be good.
No problem.
Okay, thank you everybody for listening. We'll catch up with you again soon. We'll be awaiting on the result of our FA Cup tie against Godalming before we can bring you our next ground guides, because we might get away ties. But
Indeed.
it's nice to think that we might get some home ties this year. However, we did start off last year with a home tie against Old
As we are
Church.
in the
And
southern
thereafter, we were away the whole
everywhere,
time.
whereas we're in the southern third, it could be a horrendously long trip if we get through.
Well, indeed, but I mean, in the trophy, who did we play last year?
Hartley Whitney?
Yeah.
Sainsbury's?
No, that's the year before.
Romulus, Sutton
Yeah,
Coldfield.
Romulus,
Yeah.
Sutton Coldfield, and then
Tonbridge Angels.
and then
but-
Tonbridge. Well,
that
that was a trek. That's Kent.
I know.
You know, so
But
in
that
that
was-
southern third, you could get drawn back down that
think
way
it's-
again.
I
You could
think
go
it's-
Dover, Folkestone.
No.
You have to put up with it. It's the FA Cup.
I think it's
You do actually get prize money. Goodness me.
Absolutely.
Prize money, as I say in the old days. But well, there you go, right.
That's
so
our guide to Royston. Thank you very much for listening. We'll catch up with you again soon.
This is Radio Hereford FC, the home of the Bulls. Match Day Live.